Here's a plugin that I've been super excited to check out. Thank you so much to Tyler at Honest Amp Sims Reviews for turning me onto this one. He sent me an email and said he had checked it out. So if you haven't checked out Honest Amp Sim Reviews, definitely go and check out their YouTube channel because there is plenty of great information, and they have a website all about plugins, modelers, and impulse responses. I would highly recommend it. Anyway, this plugin from Nembrini Audio, the BST100, is based off a Soldano SLO100, which immediately gets me excited. One of my favorite amplifiers that I own is my Soldano Hot Rod 50 Plus. It's just a beautiful amp, and I'm a big fan of that classic Soldano sound, so I want to have a listen to what this sounds like. Before we get into the sounds, as you can see, this is nicely laid out. Exactly like an amplifier, you've got 3 channels in here, so you can click between either the boosted channel or the normal channel, and then the normal channel there is a crunch and clean switch here. So there are 3 channels, even though it only looks like 2. Each channel has an independent master volume and preamp gain control, and there's a shared 3-band EQ with a presence control. There is also a section here for the cabs or impulses, so you can choose between the built-in cabinets. As you can see here, there is a Marshall, I'm guessing it's a Marshall 1960B with greenbacks. Then we can choose between a Recto with V30s. I'm guessing this is a Bogner 212. There is a Tweed 4x10, which is pretty cool for the clean stuff. And there is a Soldano 4x12, I believe, with Eminence Legend speakers in it. Then we can choose between different microphones here. As you can see, all the classics: 421, 414, 121, and 57. You don't need too much more in your life. There's also several mic positions we can choose from with this rotary dial here, and there is a mixer to blend between any 2 mics we like and a room sound. Furthermore, there's a noise gate, which I've got on at the moment, and there is this input reference control here, which I'm just going to set as normal. So what we'll do is we will start down here on the boost channel, because that's where everyone comes for Soldano tones. Furthermore, you can load up your own impulse responses as well. So I've got one of my favorite IRs that I actually made of my recording cab. We'll start with this, and then we'll have a listen to some of the factory cabinets. With everything at the stock settings, I think it sounds pretty great. So you just find there that on the clean channel that is much lower in volume, but I quite like that crunch sound, and I really like that boosted lead sound. So what I will do here is, normally on the real world amp, I find I turn the presence down a little bit, and then I'd push a little bit of mid-range and not do too much more. And this is really great if you're into this sort of hair metal thing. I like that a lot. Obviously, well, not obviously, but the SLO100 circuit directly inspired the Mesa Rectifier. So I always found on a real Soldano amp, if you pull the mids down and boost the bass, you can get some kind of recto tones, especially if you push the presence. and the plugin is doing the things I would expect it to. This is very impressive because obviously I don't have a lot of experience with an SLO 100, but I do have a lot of experience with the Hot Rod 50, which is a very similar circuit, and the knobs are behaving the way I would expect them to. I also like with these amps, if you've got the gain on 2 on this boost channel, and you basically turn all the knobs here up and turn the presence off, you should be able to get a kind of brown sound. And it's doing the thing that I like, so that's pretty awesome. One thing that I will do now is play around with some of the built-in cabs so that you guys can hear this. The greenback cab I'm a big fan of, so just this one straight up. And what I would normally do is blend in the 57 with the Royer about 9 dB down and a bit of the room sound in there as well. So you get this. Whoa, that Mesa is super, super fizzy. I might try a different position and just try the 57. That one I'm not as into. I think I like my V30IR more than that. I want to try the actual Soldano cab though. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty classic Soldano style sound as well. What I'll do now, let's try this Tweed 4x10 and we'll try the clean channel and we'll try dial that a little bit more in. So let's do this. We'll kind of go for the Fender like Magic 6 style settings, 2 for bass, 3 for middle, and 6 for treble, and I'll turn the gain up a little bit. Let's hear this. That's pretty cool. I like that 414 with this kind of sound as well. If we go to the crunch channel on this, and I'll keep the gain down, we'll see if it can get gritty. I don't mind that at all. That's pretty cool. And let's go back to that greenback cab and we'll crank the normal channel gain, and this should be pretty sort of AC/DC, I guess, if we turn the mids up. Very, very cool there. All right. One thing on the real amp that I find is as you turn the master volume up, it really starts to sweeten. So I'm going to go over to my V30 IR and close this. And what I will do is go back to the boost channel. I'm going to keep the gain low. We'll kind of revisit that brown sound sort of thing. And these were my settings on my Hot Rod 50 that I always found worked really well. Something like this, and with the presence a bit lower, and with that boost volume turned up a little bit, we get this. And it's got that thing where you can hear the power amp emulation in this is actually doing what it should do. So overall, I think this is a very, very good sounding plugin. I've been a fan of the Brainwork stuff in the past, and I'm definitely a fan of the Nembrini stuff now. And it's pretty cool to see someone take on the SLO and actually do a pretty good job of it in a plugin format. I think between this and the Mercurial like Reaxis and Spark and the Neural DSP Fortin stuff, it's great to see some really high quality, high gain amps being added into a native plugin format, which means that you don't just have to put up with. I won't name other companies who have a much bigger market share, which I don't think sound as good. This kind of sits in between the gap between, I guess, the way high gain amp plugins have always sounded, which is like not super dynamic. I mean, if you listen to this, I can actually use my volume control and it kind of does what it would do with an amp. So it's definitely a lot closer to that real amp sensation, and I think the built-in cabs actually sound pretty good, which is a nice change, and the ability to load your own IRs if you're more comfortable with that like I am. So that is a BST100 from Nembrini Audio. From memory, I think for all of May they have like an intro price which is significantly discounted, so if you're into it, go and check out the demo and go and pick it up. I think they've done a great job. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.